everyone, welcome back to Installation 00. I wanted to do this quick video. I'm obviously middle of moving at the moment. I wanted to do this quick video because I've noticed an increase in the amount of people who didn't know that I have other things going on, other channels and this, that and the other. So I wanted to kind of have a dedicated video that I could post to my various different channels and Patreon and things like that to cover the bases. So if it's not something you're particularly interested in, feel free to move on. But for those of you that want to know, this is what I've got going on. So obviously, Installation 00, this is my primary channel. This is where most of my content goes up. All Halo themed, majoritively Halo themed. In regards to its molecular strengthening, I believe this can be achieved via an alpha-beta phase alloy, various heat treatments, as well as very precise purification processes. But I actually have 3 other channels. I have another one which was previously called the Lore Core Multiverse. It's now called the 00 Multiverse. I'm trying to kind of group them together and brand them so people understand it's all me. It's not just stuff I'm affiliated with or whatever. Focusing specifically at the second incarnation of the ship. My glorious paragons and badass renegades, I give you the SSV Normandy SR2. So 00 Multiverse is now what it's called. That's my secondary channel. That's where I do very similar kind of style of content that I do on Installation 00, but I do it for other game franchises that I'm really passionate about. So Mass Effect, Crisis, Deus Ex, things like that, Anthem, things that just games that I'm passionate about and I've played, and obviously we're expecting some new entries for a lot of those franchises I've just mentioned there in the next couple of years. So in theory, this channel, that channel is in a good position to be able to profit on that effectively. I have a third channel called the 00 Lounge. That's where I offer more than just my opinions and my knowledge in regards to technology and game lore and this, that and the other. So if you go 10 times the speed of light by expanding and contracting space so you don't break physics, you go back in time 10 times faster than the duration you spent, and of course that can go up exponentially. And that's where I can nerd out a little bit and discuss things that are just, you know, whatever takes my fancy, whatever I'm mulling over at the time. So that can be anything from like science, astronomy, physics, life and death, philosophy, metaphysics, anything that crops up. Basically, I'll whip my phone out, or you know, you often find me, you know, sort of videoing myself when I'm in my car or whatever the case may be. But that's where I do that kind of content. It just gives me an opportunity to kind of, yeah, put more out there effectively that's more diverse than just games all the time. And then my fourth channel is a relatively passive one, and it's relatively new as well, and that's Ambient Wonders. And at the moment it's isolated to Halo, but it's going to expand to other franchises. But Ambient Wonders is a place where I do audio tours or audio soundscapes. So it's very similar to like level ambience for certain levels of Halo that are particularly like ambient, or the sound design was particularly well. But I also make a point of doing what I call sound tours, which is where I make sure the level is kind of clear of enemy engagement, and then I literally take you on a really slow walk around the entirety of the level. Ideally from start to finish and back again, so it can be looped, and then you hear all the different changing sounds and stuff like that as we progress through the level, ideally without encountering any enemies, because, you know, if you're falling asleep to the ambience, you don't want to suddenly be woken up by a grenade exploding in your face. So 4 channels. In addition to that, obviously I've got YouTube membership here on my Installation 00 channel, and I'm sure that will come online as the other channels are monetized and get big enough. I've also got Patreon for Installation 00. I have a very small Patreon for the 00 Multiverse, but I'm in the midst of deciding whether or not I'm just going to merge them into just the into just the Installation 00 Patreon, because there's much more going on there now. Over on the Patreon, there's tons of perks. There's loads of merch that's fulfilled by Patreon themselves, with my logos and my different styles and things like that I can pick out and design for you guys, which is great for you guys because you get perks sort of every 3 months in that regards for like apparel. But I'm also working with a guy who creates really cool prop replicas from Halo and from other franchises, and this is kind of a taste of some of the stuff that's been going out at the moment. So we've got oddballs going out for very high tiers, we've got plasma grenades, and like I said, this sort of stuff will happen every 6 months. But if you sign up to Patreon, it should be relatively clear sort of what you're entitled to for perks and this and the other. I pride myself on being sort of one of the most generous, as far as I'm aware of anyway. I have checked with a lot of other content creators, but I'm one of the more generous in regards to perks and benefits and things like that you guys get for being a Patreon. And I'm becoming much more active on there with like behind the scenes content and stuff I'm just doing in the background. So there's already some videos up of me sort of getting stuff sorted for the move and this and the other. So there's that. We also have Teespring, which is linked generally speaking under all of my videos. That's a merch store where I design different t-shirts, different apparel at different times of the year. Some becomes available, some other stuff goes away. I'm trying to keep on top of making new merch every single time I make a big, most detailed breakdown, so that you can have, so if you're particularly interested in, say, the CS class assault carrier, for example, you get merch that's in line with that you can then pick up, and and it just helps out all around. And then from a social media aspect of things, I'm on Discord. So we've got a Discord server where basically all of my channels kind of coexist. And if you're already a Patreon or a YouTube member, you also get additional perks and things like that over on the Discord. I'm frequently in the Discord. You can frequently find me. You can frequently talk to me. We're arranging game nights over there at the moment for custom games, alongside custom games with Forge maps. There's also like Forge map sharing and things like that will factor into the game nights. So there's a lot going on in the Discord as well. There's server competitions that we run relatively frequently, so so you can sort of pitch works, and if it becomes if it becomes high voted or becomes integrated into the Discord, you get perks and special roles on top of that. So Discord is a great place to find me at the moment. And as from other social media platforms, I'm present on Twitter a lot. I'm present but not as present on Facebook. Over on SoundCloud, you can find the beginnings of a lot of my scripts, a lot of my lore videos, a lot of my narrative videos being sort of transitioned into almost a kind of a podcast, episodic podcast form. So for those of you who don't necessarily want to watch a video and just listen to me ramble on in your ears while you're walking somewhere, SoundCloud is the place to go. We're up on GoFundMe for funding Project Mjolnir. That's still going ahead at the moment. Most of it's packed away, so there's not going to be a huge amount of updates in regards to Project Mjolnir at the moment. And finally, we're on Quora as well, where you can pitch a question specifically aimed at me, and I'll be able to answer that. We've got a hub in Quora where people can sort of pile in and share their knowledge and ask and answer questions. And I think that is pretty much the length and breadth of where I am at the moment in regards to the different corners of the internet. So gradually, Installation 00 is spreading out and becoming a bigger thing, which is fantastic. It's great that all you guys continue to support me and continue to enjoy the content and continue to like, share, subscribe, and all of that great stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to lay this out so you all know exactly where I am, what I'm doing. All the links to all of this will be in the description below. Take it easy, everyone, and find peace in the domain. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, as it all helps the channel grow and helps me to continue to deliver this kind of content for you guys. And if you're ready for your next steps in evolution, head over to Patreon and become a patron there, or become a YouTube member to attain a higher state of being. Much love to all of you. Take it easy, everyone, and find peace in the domain.